So Ramesh, Ruth, Robert Kagan, more than a dozen writers in a special edition of The Atlantic are warning about authoritarianism or even dictatorship, as Kagan is arguing, in a second Trump term. Do you think they're being realistic or alarmist?
Well, I do think that there is some of what Ruth was describing as catastrophizing. I think that having been in the business of writing essays about politics and public policy for some years myself, I'm familiar with this temptation. You write about, well, this thing is more likely than not to happen, and then if it happens, then this next thing is more likely than not to happen, and so on. But even if each step in that is correct, when you have eight of them, you're talking about something that's actually improbable. Now, that said, should we be concerned? Absolutely. What a 5% chance of dictatorship is actually quite alarming. And I think that the thing that is most alarming here is not really so many extrapolations about, well, Trump is saying this and maybe he means it this time. It's the fact that, look, the guy tried to ignore the fact that he had lost an election, and he attempted to subvert the constitutional order in order to stay in power. And that's, I think, all you need really to have a great deal of concern about the idea that he would come back into the White House. Now, all these other things that he says are additional reasons for concern. But like, look about the thing he said a few days ago when he was asked by Sean Hannity if he had dictatorial tendencies, and he sort of tried to laugh it off and deflect and say, "Oh, just for a day when I could take control of the border." You could dismiss that as, he's trying to say this is all ridiculous and he's trying to make a big joke out of it. But the joke falls flat because he did, in fact, already try to subvert the constitutional order.